What is the Karen moment of your life? 2 years ago, my friends and I rented a condo in a popular tourist town for a long weekend. We paid a good chunk of money, but the location was perfect. When we arrived, the building and condo were a bit underwhelming. By underwhelming, I mean unsafe. The exterior stairs were rotting, and railings were barely holding on. Soon after settling in, we met our first problem. Karen, the upstairs neighbor. She came down, demanding we move our car from the unloading zone after just 20 minutes, claiming she was the COA president and threatening to have us removed if we didn't follow her rules. Right after this, a black pickup truck pulled up, and Karen made a beeline for the driver, who never even got out of his vehicle. We assumed it was her sidekick or something. Later, another group checked into the condo next to us, but Karen wasn't around to give them her special Karen treatment. That night, we went out to dinner and stayed out late, returning to a peaceful condo. The next day, things got lively. Our neighbors were having a full-blown party, barbecue, loud music, the works, but it didn't bother us. We kept noticing that same black pickup driving by hourly, but we figured it was a local doing his rounds. Fast forward to later that evening, we came back for a quick pregame beer before heading out. The party next door had spilled into every available space. We snapped a few photos to cover ourselves, just in case, and locked ourselves inside our condo, quietly watching football. Out of nowhere, the door slammed open, and a guy barged in screaming, "What the hell are you doing?" Key in hand, with Karen standing smugly in the background. It was the condo owner, accusing us of hosting the wild party next door. We were ready for a fight. We repeatedly asked him to step outside so we could talk, but he just kept shouting at us to get out. Meanwhile, Karen was backing him up, yelling that we were destroying the condo. That's when we called the cops. Once the owner realized we had the police on the line, he did a complete 180, practically begging us to hang up. He shouted at Karen to go back to her unit. When the police arrived in full force, since we reported someone had forced their way into our condo, they quickly broke up the party next door and kindly asked us if we could work things out. As it turns out, the black pickup truck belonged to the owner, who had been driving by all day because Karen kept calling him to complain about us. Karen, now half drunk, was still on her balcony, chirping away about COA violations. We told the owner we were leaving and would handle everything through the booking platform. He wasn't happy, especially when we showed him the rental contract that clearly stated he couldn't just barge in. Despite his protests, we packed up and checked into a motel found by the booking service. But I wasn't done. Revenge was necessary. What the owner and Karen didn't know was that I used to work in this town for code enforcement, building, fire safety, you name it. I filed a complaint against the COA, and the inspector found so many violations, they red-tagged the property, marking it uninhabitable until repairs were made. The COA had to shell out over $70,000 for repairs, fines, and reapplying for their rental license. Karen even got investigated for allegedly stealing from the COA, though I'm not sure what came of that. Oh, and we got a full refund. If you're going to be an asshole, you better be ready to pay for it.